Hey, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen,
good.
we got Aaron Spears here and everything. Aaron Spears, from well, you probably know him right now. I'll knock it off. You guys know who he is. He's from BET's Being Mary Jane. That's probably where you remember him from right now. But Mr. Spears, tell us where you're from. Tell us, where you coming out of.
Right now, I'm calling you from California. Grew up in the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia area.
Okay, that's what it is. And you went to school Delaware State a couple of moons ago.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was at Delaware State. Transferred in from a school called Clarion out of Pennsylvania. So now we living strong in California, doing it big.
That's what's up. And how's California treating you? You in the Hollywood area?
Man, I'm in Los Angeles, not too far from California. California or Southern California or LA, whichever you prefer. Man, that's one of those locations and areas that kind of grows on you. At first it takes you a minute to adjust. You might be used to that East Coast vibe, way the whole vibe of the East Coast, and you get here and it's just different. And but once you get here, man, it just kind of grabs a hold of you. Like, man, you can't seem to let it go. That weather kicks in, and that chill vibe kicks in, and it's a wrap.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, especially coming from over here where it's cold all the time. Where lately it's been cold.
Yeah, I've been hearing it's cold. What state you in?
We're in New Jersey.
Oh, y'all in Jersey. What's the weather out there now, man?
We're looking at like 40 degrees right now.
Oh, my
God.
God.
And that's spring is tomorrow,
Ooh, yeah, it's been killer over there, man. This weekend was like 94, man.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been chill over here. It's 80 something right now, at least a good 80, 88. I'm sweating over this joint.
Yeah, you living the life then. You living the life. Hey, so has Hollywood been treating you as fairly as the weather has over there?
You know what, man? Hollywood's gonna be what Hollywood's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them things where if you put the energy on the negativity, then you just magnify it. If you put the energy on the positivity, then you just magnify that. So, I let it be what it's gonna be, but I try not to dwell too tough on the negative side and just try to, do what it is that I can do to keep my boat afloat.
Okay. And with that being said, I know that you started something. Or rather, you speak on it, Nathan. A company that you started to kind of put things in perspective and anything in place for people coming up to do some things with spoken word, right?
Yeah, man. It started off as a spoken word company. We used to do live shows, dinner, live band, the whole deal. Basically, I don't know if most people have seen like Verses and Flows. Literally, Verses and Flows is exactly my show. If you ever been to a live taping of Verses and Flows, that's exactly my show that I started in '97. I'm not saying they stole it, but I'm just saying times have evolved, and that's exactly what it was. So
I'm saying you stole it. They stole it.
Right. What I'm doing now is we've got a company called Henna.TV that will be launching hopefully sometime here soon. That is basically highlighting independent cinema, whether it be film, television, live shows, whether that be concerts or what have you, and trying to shine a light on those gems that may be caught up in the haystack, that may have hit the cutting room floor, and there no longer are those blockbuster deals. There's no longer those Hollywood video deals, and we're looking to fill that void because most like internet-based or VOD-based movies, etc., is kind of just shooting for the blockbuster. They're really shooting for, the Thors and all the Spider-Mans, and they're not really looking for that independent vibe. So we're looking to put a light on that and make that a mainstay and raise, not necessarily we're going to be the ones who raise it, but let quality be the bar as opposed to, well, who's in the movie? Well, how about it be a movie you've never seen before? You don't even know the cast that's in it, but you're like, damn, that was a good movie. I would rather highlight that and put that out there as opposed to, regurgitating the same old people, the same old storyline. Let's be creative. Let's dig deep. So that's kind of where we at.
That's what's up. And it was Mansfield 12. That was a movie that you executive produced. Was that something that you was that something in that same vein that you were just speaking about?
Yeah, pretty much in the same vein. That's the same director from Blue Hill Avenue. I don't know how many people out there have seen Blue Hill, but same director. He also did Motives, and me and him have been putting it in for quite some time, and that was one of those projects that's like, hey, once again, you know, we're going to write it, we're going to produce it, and we're going to put it out there for the people. And, yeah, it's one of those projects in the same vein.
That's what's up. Yeah, Blue Hill Avenue, that was that thing. That was it right there. That was it.
Oh, man, we appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. You know, I wish it could have got more love in terms of the studios, what they would have, could have, should have did with it. You know, it came out in theaters, it did that whole deal, but they were being stingy on the commercial airplay. They were just doing like the radio and the newspaper. They wasn't splashing it on the TV, because had they splashed it on the TV, it might have been even more insane. But it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Blue Hill had some. It had some star power in it. It had some star power.
Yeah.
You know, not just including yourself, but what was it? Alan Payne. You know, it was kind of
Alan Payne. We had William Forsythe. Clarence Williams III. So we had some heads in the joint. You know, definitely had some heads in it, man. At that time, it was that was the era of, is there a rapper in the movie? That was the DMX stage. That was the Tretch stage. That was when they were bringing every rapper they could out the woodwork to try to do movies. And we got caught up in that mix because a lot of people were biting on it. And, you know, it ended up being what it was. Man, I think there was some crookedness going on behind the scenes with the producers as well that might have messed it up and shaded some things. But, you know what I mean? But other than that, hey, it's still living. It's still walking. People still talk about it, so that's humble.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, so how you feel about rappers being in movies? You know, like nowadays, does that kind of cut into your craft? Something that you study hard and anything for, or do you just does it like never mind to you?
You know, I think they have taken up a serious note with it. That was always our concern. Like, cool, if you're going to step into this genre, make sure you understand this is an art and this is a craft. Don't just come across the bridge thinking just because you're a hip-hop mogul that you all of a sudden going to be the star of this film, and now you are literally taking jobs out of thespians' mouths. But if you're being serious about it and you're taking your craft to heart, then, hey, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I hear you. So you started off doing on soap operas, yeah?
Yeah, man, I'm actually still doing the joint, man. I'm on The Bold and the Beautiful. I've been on there for 4 years, and it's been an interesting journey, man. I didn't realize how segregated different genres were. I didn't understand, like, you have film, you have primetime television, then you have daytime television, and they put them all in different categories, you know. So depending on the category you're in is how you're going to kind of get treated. You don't really see soap stars on the covers of magazines or billboards. So I don't know why they don't give that same honor, quote unquote, to the daytime actors. But man, all of that work that you see being put in, all of those pages being read, all of those emotions being felt are very real.
So is the I hope you don't mind me asking, is the money good in soap operas?
It isn't bad, but you're not getting primetime money. And if you're doing a film, and you're like, you know, the cat whose name is above the title, then you might be getting some chippers in big time movies. But you know, just because you're in a movie doesn't necessarily mean you're getting chippers, because you could be an underlying player and you're getting paid, but you're not getting broke off like that. You know, people think that they see you in the movies, they see you on TV. Oh man, he's a millionaire, but not necessarily. You're getting a check like everybody else, as well as it's all relative. A lot of times you have to put it into perspective of the price range of the profession that you work in. If that profession doesn't have the same price range as the one that I'm in, you can't really compare the two. So, I might be balling out of control in terms of what you're making, but in terms of what I'm capable of making, I'm at the bottom of the totem pole. You know?
I hear you. Yeah. All right, so fast forward to being Mary Jane. You know, you did soap operas, you did Blue Hill Avenue, you did Babel with Brad Pitt, and and then now you're doing you just did Being Mary Jane, and that was a nice BET miniseries. So who was your character on there? Mark Bradley. Tell everybody about your character on there on Being Mary Jane.
Mark Bradley is basically one of the best friends of Mary Jane Hall, who is played by Gabrielle Union. She has her own show at the network. I have my own show at the network, trying to get our stories told, trying to get our points across, to get them to understand that people of color want to hear these type of storylines, and our stories are just as poignant as the next. in the same vein, I have this whole vibe going on with me that my character is gay. So it's like a second nature thing for me. The character is resemblant of that cat that you knew from since you were growing up. You knew he was gay when y'all was playing Matchbox cars, and he didn't really want to play Matchbox cars. He wanted to play something else. And now as you've gotten older, he's grown into who he always was. So this guy is deciding on whether or not, do I tell everybody at the job, do I just kind of like come out, or do I just leave it kind of to myself? I don't really even know how I feel about it. I still have to address it with my parents to make sure they're cool and how they're going to feel. And yes, Mary Jane Paul, you're my best friend, you know, but damn, I didn't ask you to open your mouth and tell everybody else. So there's a lot of different dynamics going on, a lot of different flawed characters, especially my character, Mary Jane Paul. Pretty much every character on the show is flawed and dealing with real-life situations. So I'm caught in the midst of my job, trying to transfer and change from being this old school type of newscaster to this new school social media type guy who's involving all of this new data and new media around something that I wasn't raised on. I was raised on the Tom Brokaw. I was raised on those old school cats, you know. So for me, it's a big transition. And next season, season 2, is basically me going through that transition, me, you know, talking to my parents, me seeing exactly, can I hold shit with this new wave, this new angle that you guys have me on, and the direction that you have me going in? Can I maintain it and sustain it?
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you about the next season. So it is going to be a next season. How much of Mark Bradley is there? You know, kind of mirror of yourself.
In terms of work ethic, I would say Mark definitely has a sustainable and a very good work ethic. I know I try to put in as much work on a project as I possibly can. I want to always come in prepared and ready. He's the same, as much as he's fighting and kicking and scratching to not change over and be that new age type of news reporter. He's still going to come in prepared. He's still going to come in and be like, hey, I don't want to do this, but if we're going to do it, then let's do it right. So I definitely think that's definitely me.
Okay. All right. And I know the ladies, they want to know about your relationship status. So you could let them know that.
Yeah, relationship status, man. I'm pretty much lock, stock, and barrel, man. I'm married, got a gang of kids, so it's just a little same woman. So it's, you know what I mean?
He's a gang of kids. Let me. So, what's some upcoming projects and anything for you?
I just got finished doing this project, this movie called Only Light, which is shedding light, ironically, on sex trafficking and getting people to understand that this is no, like, under the bridge, you know, hermit-type dude industry. This touches every profession, every person that you wouldn't think would may be involved is involved. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. And how, say, for instance, there may be I'm not saying this happened in the movie, but this is just an example. You see an out-of-service bus riding through Manhattan. Hey, nobody's going to stop an out-of-service bus. But what they may be doing is trafficking underage women from point A to point B in that bus. So that bus driver is a part of that whole system, that whole intertwined event that's going on. And most people not even thinking. That's the last thing from their mind is that there are little girls laying down on the bottom of that bus that you can't see, trafficking them from point A to point B. So that's how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Wow. Is that going to be a major movie, or is it going to be independent?
It's going to probably, right now, you never know. You never know how it's going to get picked up, how it's going to end up. It's myself, Michael Beach, and Nicole White. So, you know, we're going to see. We're going to see.
All right. Well, you know, like I tell people, we're going to keep it short and sweet. So that's that's about all the time we got for, you know, all the space we got time for. But how can people find you? How can they follow you, man?
Everything, pretty much all handles are the same. At Aaron D. Spears, AAROND, like David, SPEARS. That's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the whole deal.
That's what's up. Hey, man, and real quick, I recently wrote a book called Ladies I Know Why You're Single. right? And I just wanted to get your input on this right here. I wrote the and anything because women have a lot of issues and anything that kind of put them to being single, and they don't really understand why and anything. Tell me, if you could relate to this and anything, or of any women and anything that are single, and they always say like, I don't know why I'm single, I can't find a good guy or whatever like that. What would you say would be one reason why women can't find a good guy?
It's kind of like twofold. It depends on the type of woman you are. If you're like one of them strong, independent women that got it going on and feel you don't need a man, then the man kind of doesn't have a place to insert himself into your life. Therefore, you're putting them in a position of feeling like maybe they're second tier. Yes, you can be independent. Yes, you can gain your money. Yes, you can get your swerve on. But at the same time, some part of you has to be submissive. Some part of you has to allow the man to feel like and be a man. And then once you do get that man, you have to understand, if that's the person that you want to settle down with for the rest of your life, don't ever get it twisted that a man is a man at the end of the day. And I'm not saying that meaning that he's going to run out and do his thing. But if I'm going to be with you for the rest of my life, the saying is very true. Lady in the streets, freak in the bed. So you need to handle your biz to make sure that he's good, because it's going to happen one way or another. Either a man's going to be with you, he's either going to be in the bathroom, or he's going to be with another woman. The release has to happen. That's just the male species across the board, whether you're looking at a gecko or a deer. They'll run up on somebody, get their swerve on, and they move on. But the male species, in terms of the humanistic quality of it, if you run up on a female and y'all have relations, something that's evolving, we're looked forward to, we're asked to stay around and be a part of that. So if we're going to stay around and be a part of that, you got to understand women are always going to be a temptation. It's whether or not that man is ready to settle down. If he's ready to settle down and maybe he's, soiled his royal oats, been here, there, and everywhere, that is the only time that, regardless, even if you're doing your stuff in the bedroom, is he going to stick with you. Because if he hasn't gotten that out of him, he just hasn't gotten that out of him, and you can't change him, and you can't make him settle down, and you can't make him loyal, and you can't make anybody do anything. The only person in the situation you have control over is you.
That's what's up. You see? Hey, straight from Aaron D. Spears and anything, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, he said it, so it's law. All right? Hey, man, thanks a lot and anything for calling in and anything, being a part of the show, the Rose Show. And, we're going to keep our eyes open and see what's going on. We're looking for Being Mary Jane, and we're looking for your next project and anything to come. What is it called? The new movie coming?
Oh, the movie is Only Light, and we're going to start shooting season 2 of Being Mary Jane at the end of this month. So stay tuned.
That's what's up. Thanks a lot, man, for calling in.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. You have a good day, all right?
You too. Hey, man, Aaron D. Spears, no doubt. Aaron D. Spears.